Good morning. We are at the Waterloo Regional Health Network, and we are here for a very special reason. We are here to talk about Split the Pot, all about fundraising for local hospitals to actually help you with your health care. Now, being joined by Troy, who is the Director of Philanthropy. Now, what does that entail?
Well, my role here at the foundation is to help raise funds to provide the equipment and essential care that's needed here at the hospital on a daily basis. So just trying to raise money any way we can, like Split the Pot, which is a fun way to help raise funds for the local healthcare community.
Now, for those that don't know, maybe you can explain what Split the Pot is and how can people get involved?
Sure. So Split the Pot is a draw where there's over 80 hospitals involved across Ontario that split the funds to help provide the essential care and equipment needed for hospitals across the province.
Yeah, and pieces of equipment can range from stethoscopes to the newest, latest hospital beds or more technical equipment, correct?
Correct. Yeah, some of the funds raised through Split the Pot have funded equipment like bladder scanners or vital sign monitors, you name it. All of our priority needs are funded through Split the Pot.
Because these are like really expensive pieces of equipment, and sometimes patients like ourselves, when we have to go to the hospital, we don't realize the cost involved in giving us the best care possible.
Sure. So the Ministry of Health doesn't fund the cost of equipment or the replacement for essential equipment, so we need to be fundraising constantly to help fund these essential healthcare needs.
So all people need to do is go to their local hospital website or the Split the Pot website, correct? And like there's different types of tickets that you can buy.
Sure, you need to visit splitthepot.ca and it's quite straightforward where you can purchase as many as 700 tickets for just $100. Wow. And if you buy now, you have your chance to win weekly early bird prizes, and the final draw is on September 24th where you can win the big bucks.
Okay, and like when you say split the pot, like you get the other half of the pot, right?
Exactly. It can be life-changing for folks.
Yeah, okay. And this is, of course, just fundraising towards our own care when it comes to our needs and when we visit our local hospitals. So make sure you stay with us. We're heading to the NICU coming up. We're going to check out some of the equipment in there. Lots more coming up on Morning Live. We are now in the NICU, and this is such an amazing example of where your money is going to help your local area hospitals with Split the Pot. I'm being joined by Emily, who is the manager here in the NICU, and Emily, the size of this little tiny diaper is like, bless my heart. It's adorable, but it also brings back memories for me that there are so many babies that are born in here that are premature and they need all the care that we can provide. And this is a really good example of one of the new beds that you guys have. Tell me about it.
Absolutely. This is called a Baby Leo, which is a radiant warmer. It's a type of bed that we use when babies are first born, because when they're first born, they often have difficulty maintaining their own temperature and they need a little additional support. So as you felt earlier, it's quite warm under here.
It is the cutest thing ever.
It is. So this is a special type of bed that can close the lid and actually maintain a controlled environment in here for the baby. So we place a little sticker on baby's stomach and that can accurately measure their skin temperature, and then the bed can heat up or cool down on its own to make sure the baby's temperature is appropriate.
Wow.
It also has some really neat features like a built-in scale. Everything we do in the NICU for babies, depending on what medication we give them, what food we give them, and how much, is all based on their weight. So their weights are very, very important to us. So it has a built-in scale so we can weigh babies right in their bed without having to disturb them too much. And it has an interesting feature to be able to monitor the noise level around their environment. So you can see the little noise level meter here. So it's telling us.
So if we talk louder,
it goes up.
Goes up.
Exactly. So it tells us if we're being too loud at the bedside to maintain a controlled, quiet environment, which is so important for their development.
Oh, and it's so nice for, you know, when you've got parents or visitors or people where the nurse is kind of like, shh, shh. And now you're like, see?
Exactly.
You're talking way too loud.
Exactly.
And the light level is also indicated, and this has all all of the stuff. Now, a bed like this, they're not cheap.
No, about $45,000 per bed. The good news is they last a long time. We have 4 of these right now that our foundation very generously helped us to purchase, and we have 4 of our old models. And our old models are over 20 years old at this point. So like I said, once we buy them, they do last a long time, which is fantastic. But because they're more than 20 years old at this point, we can't get parts to fix them. So when they break, which is why we're in such need of some new ones.
Yeah.
So we're hoping for 4 more. And as I said, they cost about $45,000 each. So that's why the split the pot is so important to us.
Okay, well, as you can see here, this is a very fancy baby bed. And coming up, we're actually going to meet a family whose baby is in one of these beds.
Was in one of these beds. Has graduated now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But, you know, just to understand the importance of how it has real life connection and why we donate to Split the Pot, why we buy tickets to Split the Pot, and the whole premise behind it. So make sure you stay with us. But for now, I'm going to send things back inside the studio and marvel over this adorable little thing. So cute, so little. Back at the Waterloo Regional Health Network, and oh my goodness, baby Sullivan, Emily, is the sweetest little nugget.
Sullivan is a baby here in our care. He was born 11 weeks early at 29 weeks gestation. His parents tell me he weighed 3.5 pounds at birth, and he's doing well now. He's gained a whole pound. He's about 4.5 pounds now and 3 weeks old. So this is a very typical type of patient that we would care for here in our NICU, and our goal always is to keep our families close to home in our Waterloo Wellington community. Sometimes babies like Sully are born prematurely and need care at a tertiary center, and we want to bring them back as soon as we can to their home community to be near their support system. And one of the most important things to do that is to increase our NICU size to be able to accommodate more and more families. So as our community grows rapidly, we also need to grow our NICU to be able to support our community. And in order to safely operate those additional beds as we open them, we need equipment like these cardiorespiratory monitors. So you can see there Sully has 3 stickers on his chest, and that connect to this monitor up here, and that accurately measures his heart rate, his breathing rate, and his oxygen levels. And the monitors tell us if he needs any additional support or assistance. A neat feature about these monitors is that they're all actually connected to each other all throughout the unit.
Really?
So, yeah, while we're not too far from our patients at any given time, if Sully were to need assistance and a nurse wasn't right here at the bedside, it would trigger an alarm on every other monitor across the unit, and so the nurse would know immediately to come back to him.
Wow, that is a really, really wonderful feature. And so these little stickers, they're attached to the monitor. Now, in the last bed, he was in one of those beds when he was first born, and then he kind of graduated up to this bed, which is still quite extensive in itself.
Yes.
And it's one thing to purchase the bed, it's another thing to purchase everything that you need for the bed, like the monitors and everything else that you see around.
Absolutely.
So this is where Split the Pot comes in.
Absolutely, yeah. The monitors themselves are about $20,000 to $25,000 each, and we need 3 additional to open more beds here in our NICU and serve our community. And the Split the Pot lottery is actually coming at a great time because September is NICU Awareness Month.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's a really great time for us to acknowledge the experiences of families in our care of having a baby in the NICU. You know, it's sort of a club you never expected to belong to until you were. We're not a service that other people in the community typically know about until you need to use our service. And it's also a really great time to highlight the work of our incredible team who provides dedicated care to our patients and families, and to put the call out to our community for support for the equipment that we need that is crucial to doing the work that we do.
Well, thank you so much for, you know, your eloquent pitch to the public of the support, and not just emotional and physical, but financial support that is needed to pay for our health care.
Absolutely.
Okay, there's so much more coming up from Morning Live. Make sure you stay with us. Oh, he's such a cute little nugget. Well, we have made our way into the lab, and we're talking not only about stethoscopes and baby beds, we are talking about highly complicated pieces of equipment that help doctors take care of us. Now, we have got the lab director, Renee, joining us, and we want to specifically talk about this piece of machinery. It is large, doesn't look very complicated to me, but it does very intricate things.
That's right. So this is called a multi-top. It's basically a mass spectrophotometer time-of-flight machine. So it sounds quite complicated and sophisticated. And so when I was a junior technologist, it would take about 18 to 24 hours for us to identify our bacteria. And this instrument here can identify our bacteria or organisms within 15 minutes or less.
Wow.
Yes, and so this instrument, it looks new, it looks sleek. It's kind of like those cars in Cuba in that they look good on the surface, but inside,
not so much.
Not so much. And so this instrument now is at end of life. We do need to replace it. And so we're always very excited to partner with our foundation and our community. Not many people know what happens in the lab. You see on TV, lab specimens to the lab and stat.
Well, we're all just wondering where are our test results.
That's right. So this instrument actually helps us get those results very quickly and get the patient not only on the right antibiotic, but quite often our patients are on a broad spectrum of antibiotics. So antibiotics you don't need anymore. This instrument is going to really help hone in on which antibiotics to get you on quicker, and so help eliminate or reduce the risk of drug resistance.
Of course, that's such a wonderful, that's such a key aspect to our healthcare.
That's right.
Okay, so Samantha is going to show us how this machine works. And what was Samantha doing over there first?
She was picking an organism or an isolate from a bacterial culture. And so she's got this plate, we call it a plate, a template, and there's 96 wells on there. And so each little circle will represent a patient. And so they're growing.
You can have 96 patients on there.
That's right.
Or
we have some controls. Yeah.
Or a person that has a lot of bacteria.
That's right. Yes, hopefully not that.
96, that's a bit much.
Right, and so this plate actually, it's reusable, so we're trying to reduce our
recycling. I like
recycling things off to the landfill. So she's just going to load this plate in, and then 15 minutes later, we will have results on what organisms are growing in those patients.
So a big machine for such a tiny little thing to put in there. That's it. And the rest of the machine does all the hard work.
That's right.
Incredible. Okay, so this is why buying your tickets for Split the Pot is so important. You can essentially give back to your own health care, but you can also help others that need to use machines like this, or babies that need to sleep in the NICU in those fancy beds that we were talking about. So head to the website, splitthepot.ca, to buy your ticket. All of the money goes to over 80 hospitals in the area. And of course, you get big prizes as well if you win. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
All of this information, of course, will be on our website at splitthepot.ca or chch.com.